day, I mean, we possess a special set of skills that we go out there and try to entertain and try to put on a show for a lot of the people that, you know, want to watch basketball, football, or whatever sport may have you. And, you know, we just try to put on a show for everybody so they have entertainment at home to watch.
Now, Joe, or Stephen, you were saying that you thought that there might be a season starting maybe January or maybe a 50-game season, something like that.
Well, I'm optimistic, just like they had in the last lockout back in '98, '97. I mean, they ended up going half the season where they ended up playing 50-some-odd games, and they came to an agreement. And I'm an optimist, so I'm thinking, you know, hopefully guys are going to get in a panic mode and frantic mode when it's time for guys to report back into training camp, and they'll think of some way to negotiate, and we'll come to terms with something. That's just me being, you know, optimistic and hopeful about it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like to me with every labor situation, whether it be football, baseball, basketball, hockey, do the players ever win? I mean, it seems like the owners always end up, and they make a couple of minor concessions to throw you guys a couple of bones, but by and large, the players say, hey, we're missing too many paychecks, we can't afford to continue going like this. And Joe, you're shaking your head there, but realistically, do the players ever make any substantial gains in these kind of things?
Well, we've been blessed to do a certain set of things. We've been blessed to be able to play basketball, and like my brother said, we've been able to facilitate the needs and entertain people the best that we know how. So you can say that we're coming up on top, but we entertain. We're entertainers, you know, just like rappers, just like musicians, just like you guys on the radio. We facilitate a need for the fans, and we thank them. You know,
sure.
That's what it is.
Well, I've often said, and I always get this argument too, when they say, I can't believe that the NBA player is making millions of dollars and a school teacher is only making $20,000 a year.
Well, it's completely backwards. I understand that.
Well, my answer to them is, how many tickets do people buy to go watch a math teacher?
Right.
You know, I mean, let's get a ticket because they're doing fractions today. I can't wait to. Can I get in the front row because you know I want to make sure I get a great seat to see what a 1/4 and 1/3 equals. You know,
I'm in agreement with you. I believe that you know doctors and lawyers and teachers, especially teachers, need to be paid more money because you know teachers behind their parents are the first set of people that teach the children. They're the foundation and the backbone. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm trying to help you guys. I'm trying to defend you guys here a little bit. But,
you know, Paul, I think it has a lot to do with just like any economy, supply and demand. You know, there's going to be a certain level of people that can afford this entertainment. You know, I may have to go to a concert with my wife tomorrow, which I don't want to go, but, you know, somebody pay for those tickets. That's just not my form of entertainment. But Ruth Eckerd Hall will be sold out. A lot of people will go see those entertainers. You know, I think a lot of times when you look at these guys, and certainly there's two sides to every story, but they've got a lifespan of maybe 3 or less years in the NBA. Now, if you average that out over a 40-year career, that might be $40,000 or $50,000 a year, just like, you know, Joe average lunch bucket might make. Yeah. When you look at that, they've just got a smaller window of capacity to earn those money. And you know, the math teacher, she'll get a disability check if something happens to her. She'll still be able to teach, and she'll probably get a pension. When you look at what these guys do, yeah, it's providing entertainment. It's not a service like teaching our kids. But I know both of these guys and the guys they hang out with, they're good role models. They grew up in this neighborhood. They're giving back to the neighborhood. That says a lot too from an economy standpoint, building that economy as well.
Well, that's very well put. I think it's an excellent statement there. And you know, I sit up close at Magic games. I'm right there in the front row, and I am just amazed at the skill level of NBA players. And you know, I've always had problems with this, Joey and Stephen, that people say, I like college basketball. It's so much better than the NBA. And I just shake my head and I say, if you ever watch the NBA players, because these are the best of the best of the best. I mean, with all due respect to college basketball players, a lot of them could never make an NBA team. But when you get an NBA player, it's the best guys. And, you know, to watch Dwight Howard and Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade and LeBron James and all those guys.
Joey and Stevie.
Well, I was working my way down to that. I mean, they're not quite on that level yet. But, to watch these guys play is just incredible, the speed and the quickness of the game. And if you think back to your college days, it compared to the NBA, it's just no comparison really as far as the skill levels, I think.
Yeah, I think that the skill level is definitely far set from it. I mean, just like you take the best guys from high school, and those guys end up playing in college. You take the best guys from college, they end up going made to the pros, and then within the pros, you take the best guys, and you have an all-star team. So we've been blessed with a set of skills that we've dedicated most of our life to doing. We started when we were probably in the 6th grade, and it's been just a relentless dedication that we just put our time and effort in, and that's how we made it. So.
We're talking with Stephen Graham of the New Jersey Nets and Joey Graham of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I used to work for Cleveland way back in the early 80s, back in the Ted Stepien days. So you guys probably weren't even born back when I was.
Before my time.
I'm sure it was. But Joey, with regards to the Cleveland Cavaliers and of course losing LeBron James and all that, and the people in Cleveland were just decimated when he left, and it was a frustrating time for everybody involved. But there's been a lot of concern that you may end up with super teams where you get a Dwight Howard and a Kobe Bryant and a LeBron James and a Dwayne Wade, where they all kind of congregate in certain cities. We saw the Big Three in Miami last year. Is there concern? Is that something that is realistic? I mean, we saw it in New York with a couple of key players going to play for New York with Amari Stoudemire, and is that something that we could see where we could have 5 or 6 teams with all superstars and then another 26 teams that are just mediocre?
To speak on that, I don't think it's going to be possible. I think this year is the last year that we're going to be able to have multiple all-stars on a team like that. Coming back into the CBA and how this thing is set up, one of the proposals that the owners are saying is that they don't want to pool a bunch of all-stars on one team. And that's one thing that we're disagreeing with this collective bargaining thing, is they want to say you can only have maybe 1 or 2 all-stars or franchise guys on a team. So there won't be, I think, after this year and after we've come to terms and negotiated with this collective bargaining agreement, that we're not going to be able to have 3 and 4, franchise guys on one team. It may be 1 and a half of a franchise type of guy, and the rest will be spread out around the league.
Now, what are your options now? You're kind of in a waiting mode, and I know you're probably in constant contact with your player reps and your agents and that.
Right.
Do you stay and wait and see if the NBA is going to play? Do you look at overseas options? I know some players have already signed overseas deal. One of your teammates, Steven, signed a big deal with Darren Williams with a team overseas. What are you guys looking at doing? Are you going to try and play this year somewhere, or are you waiting to see if the NBA is going to play, or what's up for you guys?
Well, the itch is already there.
Sure.
We're basketball players. I can't go maybe
It's almost
a day
September
or 2.
now. Yeah.
Can't go a day or 2 without picking up a basketball. So the itch is definitely getting there, and if the league is not, going to come to any terms, any agreement anytime soon, that's the only next possible option. And we've been talking with my agent. We've been talking to a few teams over there, and it's definitely a possibility. I'm not holding it out. We want to wait as long as possible because the NBA is an NBA.
How long can you wait, though?
Not long. It's like you said, it's coming around September here, and this is the time where guys start pretty much to report back into their team around this time and start working out and training with the team and getting to know the guys and form that camaraderie with the teammates. But a lot of guys right now, a handful, are already over there, and a lot more on their way.
Now you run into a situation of what if you sign a deal overseas and then the NBA lockout is over in December and they're playing in January and you've got a contract to play elsewhere? Could you actually miss a whole NBA season?
It's tough, but that's one of the clauses that the FIBA and a lot of the overseas teams are trying to incorporate in.
Because they don't want their whole team to leave with the NBA comes
back. They want guys to come over there and stay for the whole season. They just want us to come in and leave, which makes perfectly good sense. Why would you want to sign a guy to all that money and then have them turn around and leave right back to the NBA? So, I mean,
a lot of the guys are actually going and signing out clauses within their overseas and FIBA contracts where they'll be able to sign us for a certain amount of money, and then if the NBA actually comes off, out of the lockout, then they're able to come back to the States and play in the NBA again. So a lot of the guys are actually being able to sign those contracts.
So you could have teams that are real good for about about 2 months, and then all of a sudden their team leaves to go back to the NBA, and now they're just a mediocre team. So that's tough on their fans, I guess.
Yeah, I need to probably get your agent's number. My Wednesday night league, we're looking for people to take on my team. We're really hurting right now. On a serious note, I know in Japan.
I would love to pay to see John going one-on-one with Joey.
No, they'd be on my team. They'd be on my team. That's what I'm trying to recruit.
I would buy a ticket for that.
We can take care of that. Seriously, in the Japanese baseball league, they have the ability to have 2 foreign players on a team. Is that the way it is in the NBA, that you can have only 1 or 2, or would they be opening the rules up in the European League to have more than 1 or 2 NBA players? Because there can't be enough spaces to go around for everybody.
Well, a lot of the teams over there, they're only allowed to have 1 or 2 set players on the team. And if you have a player that is coming from another country that's playing in the NBA, they're actually considered as an overseas player. I have my old teammate Jordan Farmer. He just signed with Maccabi. He has Israeli descent from I think his mother's side, so he doesn't count as an American player.
So there's ways around it then.
There's loopholes around it, so they can actually have Jordan Farmer and then sign 2 other Americans on the team.
By the way, Maccabi is scheduled to play the Orlando Magic in a preseason game this year in Orlando. So.
Some years ago.
Not that it's going to happen, but
I played Maccabi some years ago.
you guys actually have some things going on in town that I wanted to ask you about, some charitable events and that. Talk a little bit about that, if you will, and what are some of the things that you're involved with before the season somewhere starts up?
Well, of course, as players, we feel the need to come back to the hometowns that we have grown up in and feel the need to give back. And one way that me and my brother and some other colleagues, I have Ruff and Francis here in DeCarlo, 2 of my colleagues, 2 of my best friends that have grown up with me, and we've decided to give back to the community. And what we're trying to do is open up a facility called the TDI, which is Training Days Innovative, and it's a all-inclusive, exclusive training camp. We're going to try to do basketball, football, volleyball, AAU, all these types of things, and train young kids from middle school, high school, college, and even the pros to get them to train. And there's so much talent and so many things that's going on in Tampa that we just don't have. We can't fill this need here. I don't know why we haven't done it in the past, but there's no location, no place in Tampa where we have this kind of facility here. So we came together, had a meeting of the mind, and said we might as well put one here where we grew up.
All right, so is this going to be something that you guys are presenting as players and just going to pick up all the costs for it, or do you need some donations for it, or how's that work?
Of course, we're always accepting donations. And of course, we'll be happy to accept that. But
These guys aren't billionaires, by the way. They're only millionaires, so, listen to what they're saying.
But it's something that we've been conjuring up and thinking about for some years now. I can remember going back 3 or 4 years ago and coming home and trying to find a gym that us, as NBA players and overseas players and college players can come and find one common ground to come and work out in the off season. And here in Tampa, it's far-fetched and hard to find. We were bouncing around from gym to gym, and either they had graduations or they had some kind of event that was going on that prevented us from going in and working out. So a few years ago, we came up with this idea, we might as well open up something like this where guys like myself and NBA guys, college guys, overseas guys can come and play and work out and train in the off season. And there's nothing like that really in this Tampa general area, which is a central location in the state of Florida.
Is there a place that people can go to get more information on it, or if they want to help out, or how they can get involved with the project that you have going on?
Well, if they want more information on it, they can actually contact us at trainingdaysinnovative@yahoo.com. Go ahead and send us an email, and we can get information out to you.
trainingdaysinnovative@yahoo.com.
That's
okay.
right.
All right. And just contact them, and they'll help you out, get you the information we need. All right, I'm going to go just around between the 2 of you again. Will there or will there not be an NBA season this year? And if so, what type of NBA season will we have? Stephen, let me start with you. Do you think we'll be playing basketball in the NBA this season?
Like I said before, I'm optimistic. I want to have, good hopes that we are going to come to an agreement, and that just like the last lockout, we'll end up going into half of the season playing 50 some odd games, but that's just me being, you know, optimistic and hopeful about it, and I want to, you know, save face and say that we're going to come to an agreement, and that I want to play, and a lot of the guys from the player union standpoint, they want to play, so you know, I'm thinking that we will come to an agreement.
Yeah, it's fun to watch John Bycheck, but I'd much rather watch you guys and Kobe and Ron and Dwayne and all them and Dwight Howard. Joey, what do you think? Will there be a season?
Steve's a little different from me. He likes to sugarcoat a lot of stuff. I'm more of a realist, and I like to get down to the point, and I don't think there's going to be a NBA season. I'm hopeful, like my brother said. I'm optimistic. I hope there is. I hope there will be a meeting of the minds and they come to terms real quick, because a lot of us want to get back into the NBA and play. But right now, as we stand, there's no NBA. There won't be one for a while now.
John, we're not going to have replacement players, so don't even think about it.
No, I think I'm past the age limit of the NBA or anything. But you know, get in touch with these guys through TDI if you can. I think they've got a lot going on in the community. They're giving back, and you know, it's good to have these guys in here. You know, I met them personally, and we're going to look for a lot in the community from these guys.
Give us that website again, or email address one more time for people who want to get information.
Email address is trainingdaysinnovative@yahoo.com.
trainingdaysinnovative@yahoo.com. Well, Stephen and Joey, thank you so much, guys, for coming in. We appreciate it and giving us the update on the NBA. I hope you're right, Stephen. I hope we at least have a half season, and if nothing else, the All-Star game is scheduled for Orlando this year. So a lot of people in Orlando are looking forward to that. And, you know, with all due respect to the owners and the players and all that, the people that really get hurt are the guys that are the vendors and the ticket takers and the security people and the people that drive the buses and things like that they lose their jobs too if there's no basketball. So, you know, you hate to see that happen. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. We're going to take a break, and then we will come back and right to the phone line.